Testing, testing, testing. One, two, three. Hey, y'all. I am not country, so let me start over. Welcome, welcome, ladies and gents, to the first episode of the Peaceful Savage podcast. It's been a long time coming. I have to be completely honest. This podcast was supposed to premiere in 2020, but it is 2021 right now, and here we are. But I believe everything happens for a reason, so I'm going to give it the best that I have and give you all that I got for the time that we are together. So this is the first episode of the Peaceful Savage podcast. And what I want this episode to be is just a nice first date. We're just going to talk. We're going to chat. You're going to get to know a little bit about me, and I'm going to share all the goods about what's to come for the first season of the Peaceful Savage podcast. When I'm on a first date, how do I act? How do I show up? Well, first, I actually look like something. I actually try very hard in terms of how I get dressed, putting my face together, whatever you want to call it, the outfit that I wear. But this is audio. So right now it's a little late. It's late at night. And I look a hot mess. But you don't know that. So we're gonna kick this thing off real nice and proper. So first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Mickey J, if you would like, if you're nasty. I can't believe I just said that out of my mouth. But yes, Mickey J, if you're nasty. And I am going to be your host for the duration of the Peaceful Savage podcast. It could only be one episode, guys. It's not going well right now. But anyway, so here we go. Like I stated, my name is Mickey, and not like the mouse, but I'm certain I will hear the Mickey Mouse song on repeat when I meet, if I ever get to meet any of you. I'm certain you will feel eager and feel the pull to sing the song to me. But let me just advise you right now, you're not the first. It's not original at all. So try to refrain from that song if you will. Now, if I choose to sing the song to you, oh, that's a beautiful day. And you should relish in that. And, pop your video open or your phone open and take video of it, because it's not going to happen again. But anyway, why am I talking about that? I don't know. It's my name. So let's get back. So Peaceful Savage podcast is your feel good news podcast. So basically, we're going to be talking about good news. And let me just be real. We could all use a little bit more of some good news. 2020 did a number on all of us. I feel like we all have PTSD after 2020. And 2021 is here to either build us back up, or it's here to do some more damage. But I am going to believe for the former, and this is going to be a year of just recovery and restoration and just beauty. So let's start. What made me want to create the Peaceful Savage podcast and why the name Peaceful Savage Podcast? Okay, well, first, the reason I wanted to create a good news podcast is because, like I said, 2020 was a bear. And who couldn't use some more good news? I mean, we were stuck in the house. I mean, quarantine started in, I think it was mid March, um, March 13th to be exact. I think that was the last day of my daughter's school being open. And we went virtual. Everything went virtual. We were mandated to stay in the house, and we all gave it a good, the good college try. For the first few months, everyone was looking at our predicament, with the glass half full. Is that how you say it? Yes, the glass half full. Everybody was so excited. Oh my gosh, I have time to, teach my kids. I have time to homeschool. I have time to, do projects around the house. I have time to really engage and get to know my family, get to know my friends, just so many opportunities where we can just love on each other and just create new memories, right? And everyone gave their all, and everyone tried. And in the beginning, social media was it was on it, to witness everyone taking all their new pictures of their new hobbies, whether it be sign language or creating their garden, or a lot of people took to cooking, because I mean you had to. You get the groceries in, from Amazon, or from any number of what are they called, Instacart, all of those grocery little sites. I don't even know what they're called. But yeah, you get your groceries and then you make your masterpiece throughout the week, and you just feed your family breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the refrigerator got no breaks. The refrigerator was on duty at all times, full-time hours. That refrigerator, usually that refrigerator gets some time off, especially if you work outside of your home. You're gone for about 8 to 9 hours a day. Your refrigerator is sitting chilling, ain't thinking about nothing, ain't worried about nothing. Your appliances, oh my gosh, your electricity, you're not thinking about. They're having a nice old self-care day. 2020 showed us something different, and it told us, yeah, it's time to get to work. These appliances, this electricity, we're going to put you back to work. So quarantine really upped that electricity bill, didn't it? As well as, we just gained a lot of Pinterest was my new friend. I have the person that said that she would never get on Pinterest and didn't understand the use or the need for Pinterest was on Pinterest. And I am heavy Pinterest now. Pinterest is like, it's the first thing I go to if I have a question about anything in regards to life and lifestyle. It's the first place I go. Pinterest. What would Pinterest say? Let me search for anything that I can think of. But yeah, we had great hopes, high hopes for the beginning of 2020, and then the summer rolled around, and vacation time was not a vacation time. You couldn't go anywhere. You were still stuck in the house. Oh, you could go to the park. I believe they had started to open up things where you were able to go to the park and take nice walks. And that was nice for a time, getting out in nature, seeing uh your fellow neighbor, and giving a nice glance, with your mask on, of course, you know, waving, being so, so kind. And then we kept going. And, August, September, November, oh gosh. November, October. Let's not forget October, because I know a lot of people, they were just like, I'm through with this. And no, you're not telling me to stay in the house on Halloween. Like, I think people had had enough. They were ready to say, I don't care what you say about this little quarantine. I don't care what you say about COVID. I'm taking my child trick or treating. so so yeah, everybody was team done with COVID. And so, I mean, we went through a lot, and everybody was tired, and uh, depression, I'm certain, went up, anxiety, all of those things just probably just skyrocketed because of quarantine, and we were just being inundated with social media and the news. Oh my goodness, if it wasn't COVID, them telling you how many people were, losing their life because of COVID. They were telling you, what locations, were, the dead zones, and how, depending on what city you lived in, like what was your chance of getting COVID. It was just a lot. It was a lot. I mean, I had family members and friends calling me and be like, "Oh, and I'm like, please don't bring that to me. I don't want to hear it. I'm tired. I'd rather not know and just stay in the house." So I literally blocked a lot of social media and a lot of the news from my sphere, because I didn't need to know and I didn't want to know. But, you know, life still lets you know. And then we had so much. Oh my gosh. I forgot about the civil unrest and the racial injustice, and oh gosh, and the fires, the forest fires. Oh my goodness, and just bad weather. There was so much that happened during 2020. Just bad news after bad news after bad news. Everybody was just tired. I keep saying that because we're tired. So here we are in 2021, and I am determined to make this the year of good news. I just made that up. I don't know if it's going to be the year of good news, but I am going to try my hardest to find every bit of good news that I can find, every glimmer, every little speck of hope. I'm going to find it, and we're going to talk about it on this here podcast, the Peaceful Savage podcast. So yeah, I just think it's time that we start to look for the good instead of being, obviously the bad is always going to show up. I mean, that's what the news is for. That's how they generate income and bring in, more viewers, is to show the not so good things about the world, to keep you in fear, to keep you scared, and to keep you watching. So they're going to highlight some of the things that, create that fear in you. And so I will be doing the opposite. I will be changing the game, giving you a different perspective on life and on the news. So we're going to be talking about good news. We're going to be talking about all the good things that happen, all the good things and the bad things that may be. That we're not going there. That song, it just came in my head, and that's not what I'm talking about. Sorry, I apologize. But we're just gonna share some good news. And I'm going to bring some amazing guests on, and we're going to have some fun and laughs, and we're just going to share some good news. And now, why Peaceful Savage? Mickey, where'd you get that name from? What were you thinking? Where did you hear that from? Well, that's a loaded question. I have no idea if I had heard the Peaceful Savage before. But I will say that, let me see. In 2015, I decided to go and get my yoga teacher certification. And at that time, I was into, of course, the yogic world. I was, living kind of new age. And I was all about, you know, mind and body oneness and health and wellness and all of that stuff. And I was definitely in the yoga world, and I was, just immersed in it. I was teaching, but I also had a community of yoga friends and teachers and, people that I taught, students. And I was just thinking of my brand and my platform. And I remember one day I was just thinking, if I ever created a platform, a clothing platform, and that was on my mind at the time, because there was a workout or a yoga apparel line called the Spiritual Gangster that I really, really loved. I mean, I just loved the name, spiritual and gangster put together. I just liked it. And I was like, yeah, I need something like that. That's flashy. That's like, that hits you, and you just automatically, you remember that name. And so, yeah, I was just trying to think of a name that would, spark that attention. And I believe at the time Rihanna had a song out. Um oh my gosh, and I can't even remember the song. I feel like Rihanna had a song out at the time, and it had something to do with a savage. I can't for the life of me remember the song. It's going to come to me after I get off, but yeah, she had a song, and I was just thinking, because here I am, thinking of, what a savage entails, but also I'm this peaceful little butterfly that has, decided to change the trajectory of her life and to live in this, harmonious way, to be love and light and to share that energy with the world, but also don't test me, don't tempt me. There's always that old person, that old man, I'm a new creation, but don't push me to the side. Don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. I didn't want to go there either. But yeah, so I wanted to play on those words together, and it just came together, Peaceful Savage. And so here we are in a season of doing better. You know, 2020 was a savage of a year. And so 2021, it may be a savage of a year, but it's going to be peaceful. Because you know what? We're going to learn from our mistakes. We're going to learn from our experiences and our circumstances, that 2020 put us in. And we're going to grow from those things. If we're going to reflect, and we're going to come out on the other side as better human beings, as peaceful human beings, as people that want to shine a light on everyone that they encounter, you know? So that's kind of a little bit of my tidbit about Peaceful Savage. So what can you expect from the Peaceful Savage podcast? Well, you can expect me to be me. I don't know what that means. That's loaded. I need you to know that that is very loaded, because at any time I could just flip out. But in all seriousness, what you can expect from the Peaceful Savage podcast is truly a place of good feels, good vibes. I want to highlight, people in the world, domestic and otherwise, that are doing amazing things in this world. I want to highlight industries, companies, organizations, people that are just creating more love, creating more kindness, and just creating a better 2021, or a better future for all of us, whether it be about the environment, relationally, societally, economically. I want to share all of those things with you, and I hope you go on that journey with me. We'll be starting fresh. Every week, we're going to bring you some good news. And I hope that it just carries you throughout your week. I hope that it makes your week a little lighter. I hope that you are able to reminisce and reflect on the things that we share and we talk about, the jokes that are had on the podcast. And I hope those things just make life a little bit easier, with everything that has happened and that is going on. Let's just make life a little easier for you. Let's take a different perspective. Let's look at things a little differently so that we can show up as our best each and every day. So if that means me taking something from the news that might have been looked at, negatively, and then spinning it, to change your perspective, then so be it. We all need a little bit of that, right? There are probably things from our own life that if we just look at it from, one viewpoint, then it looks ugly. It looks selfish. It looks mired. But how do we shift that perspective? How do we see it from all different angles? And how do we show up in empathy and compassion and love and grace? So that's what you can expect from the Peaceful Savage podcast. I'm so excited to take this journey with you, and I hope that you're excited to take this journey with me as well. Bye.